Hey guys, I'm here today to react to BTS's new song called Respect, and this is RM and SUGA's song. And I secretly have maybe been the most excited for this one, which is why I saved it for last, because kind of from what I've noticed with BTS, the members who have clicked with me the most and like whose solo music has like really clicked with me the most would be these two, I would say. Like, I don't know, I really like vibe with them somehow, and they just seem like the kind of people who would really get me and like understand me in a way that a lot may not. And like their music just really hits home for me and like touches me. There's just so much depth to it, and like the way they express themselves I think is incredible, and like their work always means a lot to me, so that's why I would say I'm like super excited for this song, because like I have the feeling that like it's really gonna hit me again, and like my standards are super high for this. So anyway, let's just go ahead and get into it. Finally, I'm so excited. Interesting.
Put your hands in the air. Put your hands in the air. It's like you don't care. It's like you don't care. Hey, yo, sugar. 요즘 날 떠다니는 단어. 근데 요즘 뜻이 좀 헷갈려. 그걸 한데 누굴 자꾸 뭐만 하면 나도 잘은 몰라. 봐도 내는 바로.
Interesting point.
존경이란 거 아냐, 말 그대로 보고 자꾸 보는 거, 자꾸 보다 보면은 단점이 보여. 그럼에도 자꾸 보고 싶던 거 필요하지 그 누구를 향한.
Perfect, again with that perfect concept of song. 아득하거든 그 무게와 두개. 언제가 당장이 말할 수 있게 되기를 진심을 다해서 내게 또 내게 또. Oh, wonder where we've heard that one before. It really has their touch in it, you know?
리스펙을 알아? 모르겠습니다. 나도 모르겠다. 뭐 하려고 했습니까? 존경. 다시 들여다보라? 모르겠다. 존중. 존중. 존경. 뭐 이게 리스펙 아니겠나 막 그런 생각을 막 하게 되는. 영어는 어렵습니다.
I like understood some parts of that, but not the whole thing. I'll have to look up translation or just like listen more carefully the next time. Okay, I love the dialogue that they created in this. Like the song was very like back and forth. Like there was so much like interaction between them in the song itself, which is really cool. That's interesting. I feel like that's something you don't see a lot. So like that was definitely their own kind of creative spin. And they really each like added their style into it. Like you can feel it from like their lyrics and the sound of it that like it's very much them. Like they bring up such an interesting point here. Like what is respect? And like they said, like it's apparently stronger than love. That's so interesting because like respect's one of those things that it's like kind of like you admire someone, you look up to them and you're like, hey, what you're doing is like amazing, you know, like, or it's so hard to explain the word respect without using the word respect. It's just one of those things that's like so inherently taken for granted, like for what it is that, yeah, honestly, like what does that symbolize for us, you know? They're asking the real questions. And then again, like the whole concept of like there being this inner, weaker, worse self that you don't want to show, but eventually like it'll get out there most likely because maintaining an image is really hard work. Like slip-ups happen all the time and like your personality eventually shines through. I feel like it's something you can't just continuously hide. But at the same time, like I don't know, I don't think it's really necessary to. Like this whole idea of like this like perfect idol that can do no wrong is just so like unrealistic and just gives a completely wrong impression of like human beings because it's more like they become these products, but like people want to know more, they want to look closer and find the person. I think that might be part of what they're talking about here. Yeah, but of course it's necessary, a perfect concept of someone, so like they have to maintain this image, but people want to see through that, they want to see the person behind it all. Or maybe sometimes they don't, if they just want to have this ideal image of like this perfect person to like look up to and respect. Man, I feel like a lot of people want to like know more in depth like who they are as people and say respect easily. Yeah. There's also kind of like two different uses of respect. There's respect in like the basic respect that you give to people, something like respecting personal space or privacy or something like that, you know, where like you kind of just treat people kindly and like allow them to be what they are. And there's the respect as in like looking up to them and like admiring what they do and thinking like, oh wow, like that's impressive that they keep doing that, you know, kind of like what they said in here. So that's also interesting. I think they definitely mean the sense of respect and like looking up to someone, not like basic respect, you know. Like, just in general, being nice to people makes sense, but, like, there's, like, a level of respect that I think is earned, and not everyone, like, has that type, and, like, figuring out what that means and, like, why you respect someone, I guess, is important. They bring up a really interesting point with all this. And I see, again, with the, sometimes I'm scared of myself, what if the weak me is found out? My 2 a.m. brain is not working right now. Say it so easily that you don't know what it is. I really wonder what inspired them to write a song about this. Like, what have they gone through to make them think so deeply about this sense of like, or the concept of respect? Like, is it like amongst artists in the music industry? Is it something to do with like fans saying they respect or look up to them? Like, other artists, like it's just, as always, as I feel like I say this for literally every single BTS song lyric reaction, that the meaning is so like not vague, but like there's many possible interpretations of it. It's very, what's the word I'm looking for? Versatile. That's it. I think that's the word I was going for. I guess it doesn't make the most sense for a song, but you get my flow. It's also interesting that they say it's something so easy to say. Because, like, yeah, honestly, even when you barely know anything about a person, you can say you respect them, you know? Like, you hear about one thing that they do and you're like, oh, like, I respect them for that, you know? But, like, what do you not know? You know, like, there's so much about a person that you don't know. And, like, yet you respect them just for a small part of themselves that you do know about. You know what I mean? I think that definitely seems to be their argument here, that, like, there's, like, this other side to people that, like, you have no idea about. It's not out there. And so, like, when you say you respect someone, like, what are you saying? Like, what part of them are you referring to? Because, like, them entirely as a person is, like, so much more than that one reason that you just thought of to say, like, oh, I respect them. I mean, like, of course you can have multiple reasons, like, if you genuinely know a lot about the person, but, like, a lot of the time, it is, like, a very casually thrown around word, you know? Like, you hear someone who did something that you think is, like, really cool, and you're like, oh, I respect that. Or, like, I respect them for it. And then here, there's no need for esteem when there's not even respect. Like, they're really playing with, like, the meaning of these words. I honestly respect you. You have no intention to respect, so just skip it. Here specifically, though, it's saying respect me. Like, you clearly haven't even thought to respect me. Not even once. So, just don't bother. Is that for the esteem bit? Maybe saying, like, don't, like, put me on a pedestal if you don't even, like, respect what I do. So much to look into with their lyrics, as always. Oh, this bit. Respect, I respect you. Applause to that pal who speak ill while smiling. Oh my god. This is where, like, their savagery is really coming out. And, like, congratulations, you asshole. If you feel all the glory and prosperity of your life. She's really forever blessed. Gotta throw in some positivity into there. In a savage way, but still positive. And then we have this iconic line. Please look again, one time, two times. I guess they're saying, like, know what you're talking about before you say that you respect someone. I think that's, like, the main takeaway here. One day I'll say it one time. So they're telling you to look once, twice, and then, like, after that it's like, one day I'll say it one time. Like, once I'm sure, once I know, and once I really know that I mean it. I just listened to the part at the end again, and it's so frustrating that, like, I can pick out so many words and pieces of it, but, like, I can't piece it together into, like, an ongoing conversation that makes sense, you know? So, yeah, I'll get to that 100%, because I really want to know what they're talking about, obviously. But, like, something, again, about, like, I think respect being difficult or something like that. Okay, I was definitely on the right track. I just found a translation online of it, and it makes sense to me now. Know what respect is. Yeah, I don't know. Like, try looking at it again. Respect, right? Admiration. English is hard. See, what that changes at the end there is it's literally talking about, like, that language barrier where, like, things can mean slightly different ideas in different languages. Yeah, that really changed the way I look at the song just now. Because in English, we just say the word respect all the time. And over someone we're like, hey, respect. But, like, I guess that's not so much a thing in Korean. Like, the word is probably not used in that same way. Because, like, you know, the way we use words and stuff, like, changes differently all around the world. Like, languages develop differently and, like, we use things in different ways. So I think they're literally talking about, like, the English version of respect. How, like, we say it in, like, these random contexts, like, a respect. But, like, what does that, like, actually mean? There's not much depth to that, you know? Maybe that's, like, what they're getting at. But yeah, anywho. Amazing song. Always, like, they really have that message and they come in savage as hell all the time. And, like, they're just very straightforward. Like, they get down to it. And I love that about their music. And it just really clicks with me all the time. So they did that. Like, they're just so creative, I feel like. They really aren't afraid to play around and, like, create these really interesting songs, both in terms of, like, the sound and structure and the meaning, lyrics, everything. Like, they really just go in. Like, this duo gets me. Alrighty. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you'd like, you can follow me on Instagram at Alice on the Internet, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, everyone.